I can see.
Standing with.
Well, this is not getting very good in the picture.
This Rover here is the Rover that you just saw Gabby controlling inside the exhaust.
This is pretty nice.
You can see that it's a lot easier for me to drive this Rover standing here. In fact, I can drive it while I'm looking at you guys and not even look where I'm going. It's so easy. Whereas when Gabby was controlling it inside, he had to make very sure every command he sent because of the delays in communication and the limitations on the bandwidth. This one has 4 speeds. It's got a gearbox and 2 gearboxes. The top speed is like 12 kilometers an hour, which is not realistic for a lunar mission, but is very useful for logistics for getting it around. So this speed here is something a little similar to, closer to what you would use on a real mission. Probably something like about like that is what it would do on a real mission. What about speed? Yeah, you go full speed. You get to that.
So, do you ever change the properties of the sand?
On the far side, there's a bed of 4 different sizes of rocks.
I bet on that
I think the sand is uniform across the Mars yard, but certainly when they do field testing at different deployment sites, they're very interested in the types of sand to make it closer to real regolith. This Rover is designed in a very similar fashion to this one. In fact, the female Rover that I'm driving is the predecessor to this Rover. This Rover has a much bigger payload capacity, can go faster, and it's got some ability. It's got the backbone to have a navigation system. So it's not a rocket motor. Thank you. It's called a passive walking beam or geometric suspension. So what happens is the drive unit here, there's a motor here, controls the chain drive that turns both wheels at the same time. And this drive unit can freely rotate around an axle here at this point, and it's connected through this linkage to a spring on the inside. And what the spring does is it provides tension, a force down on this linkage, which by changing the tension on the spring, which we can do with another electric motor inside the chassis, we can bias the ground pressure of the wheels. And by biasing the ground pressure to the inside 4 wheels, you in a sense lift up the outside wheels, and therefore when you're turning, you use less electrical power because there's less resistance on the outside of the vehicle. And on the flip side, when you bias it so that there's more ground pressure on the outside wheels, you have a higher stability platform, which is useful for going up and down slopes or traversing rugged terrain. Right, so that would be, I guess, one of the failings of this Rover is it does not have any side-to-side balancing. Right.
This is actually a perfect photo op for the class picture with these Rovers right here and everything right